Hi, people watching. I'm going to do a sitcom tier list, and my opinion is the only right opinion. Let's go. Alrighty, so we have our tier list here. There's a few of these that I haven't seen. I'm just going to put the ones that I haven't seen in the tier. It's not that they're bad, it's just that I don't know them. I literally don't know what this one's called. I don't know, maybe I have seen it, but I can't tell. So I'm just going to put that in the A tier. Not good, not bad. I don't know. I don't have an opinion on it. You guys are probably going to get mad at me in the comments for that, but that's okay. First off, we're going to do Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. So I think this one's going to be our first actual A tier, because I literally can't remember any of the characters' names other than Kimmy. It was meh. It was fine. I probably laughed at some of the goofs and the gaffes in it, but like, I can't remember a single thing from it. I don't even remember what city they live in. Like, I have no clue. So, yeah, I mean, not good, not bad, whatever. On to the next one. Arrested Development. I feel like this is one of the most underrated sitcoms probably out there. For those of you that haven't seen it, I highly suggest it. It's so funny. It's super sarcastic. So many of the jokes are like, they like start in season 1 and like intertwine and weave, and they just work out so well. You can tell that there was like a lot of foresight with what they were doing. So this might be overrated, or this might be overrating it. I think it's got to be in great tier. I would put it in God tier, but it only had 3 good seasons, and the last 2 seasons that they made of it are actually pretty bad. So I would put it in God tier, but, you know, only like, 60% of it is actually like at the God tier level. So I have to put it at great tier, but it is one of my all-time favorite sitcoms. It's so funny. If you haven't seen it, I think it's on Netflix. I know in Canada it is. I don't know about the US, but whatever. The Goldbergs. I mean, this one's funny. I feel like when I think of the Goldbergs, I think of like a sitcom I would watch with my family, and it's just kind of unproblematic. So I'll put it in good. Like, it's not bad. I giggle occasionally with it, you know, but it's never like I want to watch it by myself, you know, like, oh, I gotta turn on the Goldbergs, gotta record the next episode of the Goldbergs. Like, nah, I've never done that in my life. So, good, not great. On to the next one. The Good Place. Now, I know a lot of people love this show. Like, love. The Good Place has such an intense fan base. I mean, all of these do, but The Good Place specifically has such an intense fan base. I think I'm going to put it at the either the top of good or the bottom of great. And I think I'll put it at the bottom of great just because it's a good idea. And I definitely laugh at some of it, but I feel like it's inconsistent. I feel like at the beginning, it's really, really good. The middle and the end, I mean, there are times when it's great. There's times when it's meh to me. And so I feel like overall, the highs do outweigh the lows. But it's too mixed for me to put it above Arrested Development for me personally. Yeah, alrighty. That 70s show. This is another one that was like, I feel like it was okay when it was in its stride, and then at the end it just went awful. I'm gonna put this at the bottom, at the top of A tier. It could be at the bottom of good tier instead. Actually, yeah. I feel like that's kind of offensive to put it at the top of A tier. So yeah, fine. It's fine. You know, Ashton Kutcher's in it. I mean, I feel like that baseline's it at good, probably. But yeah, it's fine. It's okay. Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Okay, I think this has to be our first God tier. Brooklyn Nine-Nine is a wonderful show. I started watching it like a few years ago, and I don't think I got far enough into it to fully start realizing how good it actually is. Like, I think we can all understand that the first season, while still a very good show, is not at the same level as the rest of it, right? I think season 2 is when it really starts getting going. And, you know, you'll probably disagree with me for that. It's fine. You know, like I said, you can call me names in the comments. It's cool. But it's a great show. Like, I legitimately laugh out loud. Like, you know that one scene where freaking Jake Peralta is singing Backstreet Boys with the Crooks? Oh my gosh. My dad laughs so hard every time at that scene, unironically. For that reason alone, and for the rest of the show, it's our first God tier. Next, we have It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Another inconsistent show. I feel like when it's on, it's probably the raunchiest out of all of these, but it's solid. It's good, you know? But I feel like they're starting to, for lack of a better term, beat a dead horse. That's not a good... I don't like that phrase. They've been doing it for too long. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, it's definitely better than that 70s show. Now, but is it better than the Goldbergs? I feel like at its best, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is better. At its worst, it is worse. So, I don't know, man. I think I'm going to put it above just because of Danny DeVito. He is pure. He is perfect. He is my... I love him. I love him so much. He's my celebrity crush, actually. So, no, he isn't. But I love Danny DeVito. I love me some Danny. So yeah, I'll put it above the Goldbergs. It's not bad. Full House. Okay, I'll just say I didn't grow up watching Full House. You know, my family never really liked it. I'll just flat out say the comedy in Full House is awful. It's really, really bad. I don't think I've ever seen an episode of Full House or Fuller House and actually laughed to myself. Aside from how awkward, bad, and cringy it is. So, a super unpopular opinion, but I watch my sitcoms to laugh. I know a lot of people have nostalgia for it. This is our first shit tier. I'm sorry. You guys, I could hear you yelling at your phone or your computer at me. It's fine. You know, I can take it. I'm a man. It might not look like it, but I am. So, you know, bring the hate. I'm here for it. But yeah, we got Friends up next. Now, I feel like Friends is my Full House. You know, I grew up watching it. Both my parents really liked it. I have watched it through probably 7, 8, 9 times all the way. It is my comfort show. It is a show that I'll put on. I don't have to be paying attention, but it just makes me feel at home. I don't know why, but I've got something for like late 90s, early 2000s shows. Like the aesthetics that they have is just, yeah, but I will say it is not as funny as it used to be. There are definitely some jokes that are problematic in it. And like, yes, it could be a product of the time, but still doesn't hold up super great today. Especially some of the jokes about LGBTQ, kind of not great, not in great taste. But I do still think, for me personally, it is going to be at the bottom of great tier. Now, again, I don't really laugh out loud anymore when I watch it. I might have the first time I saw it, but it's been a while. So I'll put it at the bottom of great tier. I think it's less for actually how funny it is and more so just my personal bias and nostalgia. But this is my tier list, so I can rank the shows however I want. But yeah. Next we have New Girl. Now, I haven't seen this one as much as I should. I think I've seen part of the first season, so my ranking is not going to be the correct one. I'll just say it. But again, this one's meh. You know, I feel like I can't remember who like the actress is that plays the main character, but she reminds me of Adam Sandler in the way that she plays herself in every role. And I'm sure you guys, I feel like I've been referencing comments a lot, but you guys are going to tell me that she, like, oh no, in this movie she's different. And I'm sure there is some movie where she, you know, does a great job acting. But, you know, in New Girl and in Elf, I feel like she's just the same person. The other people are pretty funny, but again, I don't think I've seen enough of it. I will put it right above Goldbergs, right below Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I think that's an appropriate place for me to put it right now. Next, we have Parks and Recreation. This is a wonderful show. It's really good. I will say, first season, not great. Just like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, first season, just skip it. Don't watch it. Characters are different. They didn't know who they were going to keep on. Chris Pratt, before he played, well, I guess he technically hasn't, the movie hasn't come out yet, but before he signed on to play Mario and Garfield, he was in this, but in the first season, they didn't really know how to use him. So, I think it's freaking great. I think it's really good. I think it's, for me, I mean, it's all subjective. For me, probably a little bit better than The Good Place. I think I laugh a little harder at some of the jokes, and it definitely did fall off. I would be lying if I said that it didn't, but I think it's a pretty freaking good show. Doesn't have the high highs of Arrested Development. It also doesn't have the low lows, but those 3 seasons of Arrested Development trump anything that Parks and Rec ever had, for me, personally. So, yeah, let's keep going. We're almost done. This is a fast one. We got Will and Grace. Now, I haven't watched a ton of this. I know my mom really liked it back when it was on. It seemed fine. You know, it wasn't super funny. It wasn't super unfunny. I'm going to put it under the Goldbergs just because I feel like I'm not necessarily the target demographic for it. And I don't mean anything by that. I haven't seen a lot of it. It seemed fine. A lot of the jokes seemed more targeted at older women, and I'm not meaning old women. You know, I'm just going to stop clarifying. I'm digging myself a deeper hole. Yeah, just didn't really fit me, I don't think. And it's kind of the same with 30 Rock. I'm not going to lie, I didn't really understand the whole, like, writing situation. It's funny at times, but I don't know. I mean, Tina Fey is really funny. Something about Alec Baldwin gets me, though. And I know, like, there was just this big controversy that I'm not going to talk about here. You can look it up if you want. He just seems like a bad dude to me. And I know that that shouldn't impact how I see the show, but it does. So yeah, because of that, I'm going to put it in good as well. There's definitely people that liked it, you know. Tracy Morgan is just, kisses to him. He's a really funny guy, but just something about Mr. Alec there is does not sit well with me. Next, we have Seinfeld. I think a lot of people would put Seinfeld in God tier. I just started watching it. It was not on Netflix in Canada for a while, so I wasn't able to watch it. But now that I have, I mean, it's funny. Obviously everyone knows that the ending of Seinfeld, I'm not going to spoil it here, but it's bad. It's really, really bad. I think certain things that George Costanza does here, I think he's really funny. I feel like Jerry Seinfeld's comedy doesn't really hit me as hard. Like, I know it's supposed to be a show about nothing, but I feel like that's just his entire comedy is just talking about nothing, which is actually kind of what I do, which is probably why I don't like him as much as I should. But, yeah, it's fine. I think because so many people like it, I'm going to have to put it at the bottom of great tier, but I do rank it below Friends. I don't like Cosmo. I think he's annoying. I don't know why he's there. I just don't really understand it. But you know what? It has its place. It's really important to the fabric of sitcoms. You know, like probably like half of these sitcoms would not be here without Seinfeld. So I would give it credit for that. But, I feel like that's what I'm saying about all of them. I feel like all of them, I'm like, well, there's probably some of you that like them, but not for me. Yeah, next we have How I Met Your Mother. I feel like this one, when it was firing, it was good. But I feel like there was too many similarities to Friends that it got older quicker. I feel like Ted, the main character, is really fucking annoying. Like, I just don't like him. And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like Neil Patrick Harris kind of carried the show longer than what it should have been. So because of that, I'll put it, I don't know, I'm feeling top of good tier probably. Like I said, when it was doing well, it was doing well. But it was not doing well at the end for multiple seasons, I'll say. They probably should have cut it like 3 seasons earlier. And the ending was, I'll say mixed. The ending was mixed. But it does hold a special place in my heart. I do like it to a certain degree. But yeah, alrighty. The Simpsons. Now, there's so much of The Simpsons. I feel like ranking Simpsons 1 through 10 and ranking 10 through, what is it, like 29 for like the seasons, I feel like they would be completely different. I feel like 1 through 10 would be probably near the top of great tier, right? Like, great show. There's a reason why it was on for so long, or why it's been on for so long. But I feel like at this point, they're just trying to continue using the cash cow. You know, they're just trying to get every ounce of monetary value that they can get from this franchise. And it's getting old, my guy. It's so old at this point. Like, I watched The Simpsons on Disney Plus, and I stopped watching at season 8. You know, and that's probably earlier than most people do. But it gets old. You know, you can't have a show that runs for that long. And it's the same with Family Guy, which actually weirdly isn't on here. You know, Family Guy is so old at this point. So, again, like I said, if it was Simpsons season 1 through 10, I'd probably rank it near the top of great tier or at the top of great tier. Right now, it's got to be at the bottom, I think. And I think that might even be, like, I'm having a stroke. That might be too kind. That's what I'm trying to say. Holy crap. Yeah, that might be too kind, as it is. But, you know what? I have to put some respect on it. It was a good show. It is the characters are iconic. So, you know what? Bottom of great tier. This is my list. Yell at me. Whatever. The Office. Now, I've seen all those, you know, TikToks, those videos where they say that if you're dating a guy and he says his favorite show is The Office, that it is a red flag. And I can kind of see that. You know, I feel like The Office, in a lot of ways, is kind of offensive for the sake. Like, it goes farther than some other shows do. Like, it's like a more offensive version of Parks and Rec. And Parks and Rec has some iffy moments to it, you know? But The Office does everything that Parks and Rec does, but better. And I will say, again, when Michael Scott left, the show should have ended. You know? Michael Scott, Steve Carell, he was the show. You know, Andy's great. Andy's a good guy. But it definitely fell off in terms of quality. You know, and what they tried to do with, like, Jim and Pam in the final season, I'm not having it, you know. They would never cheat on each other. They're perfect. They're like this, you know. But the jokes, like, especially from season 2 to probably about halfway through season 7, probably until Michael Scott leaves, the comedy is top tier. Like, and I'm probably biased because it is, like, The Office has my comedy to a T. I love cringing when I watch sitcoms. You know, I love seeing people in awkward situations where they don't know how to react. That is funny to me. And I know a lot of people just don't find it funny. They don't like cringing. They don't like feeling uncomfortable. And that's fine, you know. That's okay. You're allowed to have your own opinions. But to me, The Office still holds up. Probably not quite my favorite show, but it was for a very long time. I think it's fallen off a little bit, and it's become a little over popular. Kind of the trendy pick. But really, really good show. The Office is great, and I am happy with it being God tier. Okay, sorry for that rant. I feel very strongly about it, you know. But yeah, next, Community. I don't really know why Jeff Winger has that looks like a mohawk there, but who knows? I don't know. Community is a wonderful, wonderful show. It is probably, with Arrested Development, underrated. Just, there are so many people that do not know how good Community is, and I was one of those people for a very long time. Again, it was on Netflix. I heard good things about it. Watched the first episode, was like, nah, this isn't funny, and stopped watching. One of my friends started watching it because he was going through like a binge of comedy shows on Netflix, and he was like, oh, you gotta watch Community. It's so funny. It's so good. And so I started watching it again, and I have to say, very glad that I did. It is a wonderful show. The commentary on pop culture and like the references that they make are they're Arrested Development quality, but honestly more thought out. You know, Dan Harmon, he's a genius. Like, I'm not going to talk about any of the other issues that he had while working on Community. You know, those are a completely different topic. But just talking in terms of like how he makes shows, he's a genius. He is probably one of the best writers / producers that we have had throughout the 2010s and so far throughout the 2020s as well. I mean, it just shows, you know, he's the creator of Rick and fucking Morty. Like, he's great at what he does. This has to be another God tier show. If you haven't seen it, please go do. It's really, really, really good. It is 100% worth your time. And it's not the cringe... It's not the same cringe comedy that The Office is, too. So, it's kind of more along the lines of Brooklyn Nine-Nine in some ways. So, yeah, if you don't like cringe comedy, check Brooklyn Nine-Nine and check Community out. But, yeah. Next up, we have The Big Bang Theory. I'm conflicted on this one. I think I'm with the consensus of people by saying that I don't like this show. I think it's pretty bad. By the end, it was so overdone, so boring. The majority of the jokes were just like, haha, nerd, you know? And throughout the show's runtime, it went from not being cool to be a nerd to being kind of cool, kind of trendy. You know? Like, when The Big Bang Theory started, I think it was like 2007 or something. Probably something like that, 2011, I don't know. But it was not as cool to like superheroes. It was not as cool to play with Lego. It was not as cool to do all of the nerdy stuff, you know, be into Star Wars, any of that. But by the end of it, it was trendy. You know, the Marvel movies had picked up in popularity. I don't think Endgame had come out at that point, but it was about to, you know. Like the whole MCU was way, way, way bigger, and it was definitely more of a cool thing to be into. And I feel like the show just evolved. It got boring. It got stale. The characters weren't exciting anymore, you know? And I don't necessarily think that it was that incredible to begin with. So, I'm debating. I think I put it at the bottom of A tier, right? Because these guys are technically not supposed to be here. I think it's fine. It's not good. I can tell you that. But I do think that it gets probably some more hate than it deserves, but it's not a good show. And last but not least, we have Superstore. Again, very underrated. There's a lot of people that do not know about this show, and I think that it's really, really good. Especially when it gets into the groove of things, it's really funny. And as somebody that has worked in retail, in your life, you will understand a lot of things that go on in this show. Like, you will be able to think to yourself, oh, I remember a customer that did that. Or, oh, I remember last time I was at the supermarket, somebody asked me that question, and it really didn't make any sense, you know? And even people that have never worked in retail are probably seeing other customers doing the same shit that the people in this do. You know, it is bang on with the relatability, and while I think that the comedy isn't necessarily, you know, the best of the best, I do think it's a pretty funny, pretty quirky, interesting show. And there's one guy, I can't remember his name, he's got a really interesting voice. and he reminds me of real life Elmo. So I'm gonna put it above Friends, below The Good Place. It is a pretty great show. But yeah, thanks for watching, I guess. I'm gonna try to make more videos like this because they're fucking fun. Also, welcome to everyone new to the channel. Hi, I'm Braden, also known as Harry Poppins 29. It's a stupid name, I know, but yeah, thanks everyone for subscribing, and stay tuned for more videos. Sorry, I'm really bad at this. But yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one.